Hey everyone, I'm Sam from Bio Cosplay. Today we're taking a look at the SH Figuarts Reno Ichikawa from Kaiju number 8. I absolutely love Kaiju number 8, so I'm very excited for this one. I'm going to be getting all the Kaiju number 8 figures. I've heard some not so great things about the torso articulation on this one, but hopefully it's still a fun figure. Here's a look at the packaging. This one has sort of an ice blue background, a big window so we can see the figure inside. I picture the figure here. Like the Kaiju number 8 packaging, there's some of this like caution tape halftone design. Picture on the side. Another picture on this side. And some poses on the back. Here he is out of the package. My initial thoughts are that the face seems a little bit off. Not 100% sure why. Just something about it doesn't quite read exactly how I imagine Ichikawa. It almost feels to me like it doesn't quite match the anime or the manga art. I just think the face could maybe be a little bit better. Maybe we'll see the accessories of any of the other faces I like more. As for the suit, I like the colors and overall shape of it. The shoulder pads are a good shape. The chest armor can get a little bit out of alignment because it's articulated. We'll show more on that later. The suit is kind of just a dark gray plastic. Like I've said in a lot of other reviews, I would prefer a little bit of shading, but I think it's fine. The eyes do look nice, even though I think they're a little bit off, but they're executed well. The hair's sculpted pretty well. I think it's a little bit more bowl cutish than Ichikawa, but it's fine. Down at the collarbone, these pieces are a little bit fuzzy on the edges. It's not super noticeable when it's like at a distance on a shelf. Didn't really notice it till we got up close here. The symbols on the shoulder pads are very clean on there. There are two little silver bits on the neck. Those are cleanly applied. On the back he does have the spine. I think that looks pretty cool. And the two little like shoulder blades. Those are neat. His belt's painted cleanly. He does have some pouches and a sidearm here. Unfortunately, you can't remove this gun. This is pretty disappointing. I find it a bit annoying when they include a weapon and then you can't use the weapon. Just include another weapon. Or let this one be removable. Then down on the leg, I like the way they did this strap where it looks like it's going underneath the pants. I think that's a nice effect, and there's like a slight wrinklage there. That's a nice kind of subtle detail. It's got the green knee pads and the plain light gray boots. Those have some armor bits on them. I think these could have benefited from some paint detail in these little cutout sections to bring those out a bit, or maybe some panel lining in the lines of the boots. Forgot to say up at the arms, he also has that panel lining on the forearms, and then some paint detailing on the back of the hand. So aesthetically, he's okay. It kind of misses the mark a little bit for me. On to articulation. Maybe this will save it for me, but maybe not. At the head, he will look up. Not that far. At the head, he will look up. Not a ton, just this much. That's kind of just the hair bumping into the back of the neck. There is a double ball peg in here, but it's using pretty tiny balls. And then looking down with both the head and the neck, with just the head he just touches his chin to his neck. So, but then with the neck, it's decent. And then with those double ball pegs, you do get side to side tilt and can rotate that around however you'd like. The shoulder pads are a soft, pliable material, which is nice. Feels like the shoulder's connected via a ball peg into the body. So there's kind of a bit of a butterfly joint there to shift the arm forward a bit. As for the hinge on the shoulder, it can go up very far. Although it does kind of distort the shoulder pad a bit. The shoulder pad's just connected to the body. Is a bicep swivel. Double jointed elbow that gets very good range, and a ball hinge wrist that Bumps into the sleeve a little bit, but I think it'll be alright. To help with that kind of butterfly joint he's got going on, the chest will shift around. I didn't mean to pop that off, but now we can see that it is a double ball peg. So we'll just pop that back in there. So you can shift that and rotate it around, which, let's see if it helps much with reaching across the chest. We'll keep one all the way out and one in a bit. Yeah, it helps a little bit. Not a crazy amount. I don't know that it helps enough to warrant a shifting chest pad, but I do think it's neat when they try new articulation, so it's fine. I'm not mad at it. Down to the torso, the point of concern. At the diaphragm, he'll lean back pretty well, actually. There is a little bit of gapping there, but that's fine. You're going to have that. Leaning forward, not really at all. He's got a tiny ball peg in the diaphragm there. So that's going to be some of the limit, unfortunately. And this peg is curved backwards, so that's why you can lean further back than he can forward. Okay. Don't love how many pieces have fallen off of this, but I am kind of tearing them apart, so it's fine. Okay, and then at the waist, he'll lean forward. None. Oh no. And back a little bit. So overall, decent leaning back, terrible leaning forward. Let's just look at the waist. Okay, so another relatively small ball peg. Let's see if we can get in here. So I think when the torso leans forward, the bottom of it's bumping into this flat plane that connects in front of the peg to the crotch. Right there. And that extends all the way down. I wonder if this could be carved out some to increase the articulation, or if that would just ruin things. It does look like that piece is responsible for holding the crotch onto the peg. Increase the brightness so you can better see what's going on in here. So it looks like the crotch is kind of hooked onto this section with the ball peg. So I don't know if that could actually be modified or not. I think there's a seam here where the crotch attaches to that. But if some material could be removed from like right in this section, I think that would allow the torso to slip down in there. Maybe. Anyway, without modification though, it's not great. The torso articulation as disappointing as we expected. There's also not really any rotation at the torso. He just shifts a little bit. For the accessories on the belt, there is a double ball peg so you can shift and move these around. I think that's neat. I still wish that you could remove the gun. It also has two pouches on this side, and you can shift those around as well. For the legs, these will go out. This is where shifting the pouches will help. About this much. Not the best range we've ever seen, but it's decent. Oh, he actually has a drop down hip as well. I don't think the drop down hip is super necessary. I usually don't love a drop down hip because the drop down can get loose and you don't generally need it if the joint is made well. But kicking forward, he can kick forward this much and back. Some at an angle. He does have the sculpted butt cheek, so it has to come out at an angle, but pretty good. Double jointed knees that get pretty good range. At the feet, these will hinge back this much, forward this much, and it's not this armor piece on the front getting in the way. This is on a little ball peg, and you can see that I guess it bumps into the bottom of this cuff on the end of the pants. This does shift around just a little bit on that tiny ball peg. There is a toe hinge, and it's fine. And he does have an ankle rocker. So the articulation maybe will be serviceable for some poses, but with that waist, it's not going to be the most dynamic figure. On to accessories. He comes with 4 alternate faces. One where he's looking to the side, one where he's yelling with the mouth open, one with the respirator on, and one where he's gritting his teeth and looks angry. These are all painted nicely. To use the face with the respirator, you'll have to pop the head off and then slip the neck through that little neck strap. The neck strap's a little bit stiff, but it got on there. And then he also comes with an alternate hair piece. So we can have windswept hair. This will limit the head articulation with the strap on the back of the neck, though, unfortunately. Kind of just springs back in place. I think that looks pretty cool. For hands, fist hands will come on him in the package. Then he'll also come with a pair of open hands. And then one right gripping trigger finger pointing hand. And one left kind of fingers facing up, palm open, gun supporting hand. And then to go with those is his rifle. This is a nice metallic gunmetal. And it's sculpted well. The only detail that's painted on it is the blue line here for his ammo. He's using ice rounds in this. So it's cool that that's reflected on the weapon. And he holds the gun pretty well. And finally, he comes with an extra DLC part. Smiling face for Kaiju number 8. I do like this face. It's very silly. It has the tongue out. Still wish they would do a wash on the Kaiju faces, but overall I like it. Still have some mixed feelings about how they include faces or accessories for other figures with new figures that come out. But there's not much we can do about it, and at least this is a fun one. For sizing comparisons, Ichikawa's standing at just under 6 inches. Here he is next to the SH Figuarts Kaiju number 8 with that new face, and the SH Figuarts Kui from Dragon Ball Z. Go check out both those reviews if you haven't seen them yet. I think he scales well with Kaiju number 8. They look pretty good together. For a couple other white-haired characters, here's the SH Figuarts Teen Gojo from Jujutsu Kaisen, and the SH Figuarts Gabimaru from Hell's Paradise. Go check out both these reviews as well. And then for a couple domestic figures, here's the NECA Last Ronin Michelangelo, and Marvel Legends X-Men 97 Nightcrawler. Outro audio. So overall, I do think this one's a little bit disappointing for me. This is one that's tough to recommend. With Kaiju number 8, there were some aesthetic things that I had different preferences on than what they went with, but at least it still had good articulation and was enjoyable to pose. The limited torso on this one is very unfortunate. I'll still try to get him into some good poses. Hopefully we'll have some decent ones at the end here. It mostly has me worried for Kikaru because she has the giant axe, and I think it would be cool to get her in some agile axe swinging poses. Mina's coming out next, and I don't think the torso articulation is super important for her since she just has the giant gun. But hopefully by the time Kikaru comes out they'll fix some of this. But we'll see. I just wish every SH Figuarts line would have the same consistency as the Naruto line. Because those figures, all the ones I have, are really good. And every other line, it is always uncertain if the figure's going to be good or not. You might still enjoy this one if you're a big fan of Ichikawa. Otherwise, maybe there's a chance if they continue this line that he'll get a different figure down the line, and maybe perhaps they'll have sorted the issues out by then. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Are you going to be picking up this figure? Are you collecting the Kaiju number 8 line in general? I'm definitely a bit sad that season 1 is over, but I'm certainly looking forward to the next season. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.